Hello and welcome to another New School video. I'm Tandy, and today we're going to be playing Izzet Tempo. So this deck kind of revolves around these powerful two-mana creatures, Third Path Iconoclast and Ledger Shredder. We kind of leverage those with cheap card draw and removal and interaction so that we can gain a foothold in the game early and then kind of ride that wave to victory over the course of the rest of the game. We have Fable the Mirror Breaker, which is great for triggering Third Path Iconoclast as well as filtering some of your extra cards into real meaningful spells like extra lands or dead removal spells. And then to top it off, we're playing 3 copies of Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Now, I'm not 100% that this card is good, but I want to test it out. I think it could be very good. It works really nicely with a lot of the cards in your deck, especially Ledger Shredder, even Fable the Mirror Breaker. And I think the card is just like very good standalone. And if you ever get to untap with it, I feel like it's very hard to lose. Our interaction is Fading Hope and Strangle. We're also using one Brazen Borrower for Petty Theft. In our land pile, we have Jawari Disruption as a 2-mana counter spell, so we can go turn 2, hold up Jawari Disruption. On turn 3, we play Expressive Iteration, or we can go Ledger Shredder or Third Path Iconoclast plus a 1-mana spell. And I think all those together make a 2-mana counterspell viable, but I want the counterspell to kind of sit on the curve the right way, and when it's dead or we need the mana on turn 1, we just play it as a land. Our sideboard consists of 4 Red Cap Melee to help out against Winota or Mono Red decks, 2 Abrade as artifact destruction / removal, 3 Brotherhood's End, which also do the same thing, so Abrade might not be as necessary, a second Brazen Borrower to give us another Petty Theft, 2 Mystical Dispute to help out against blue decks or things like Emergent Ultimatum, and then 2 Disdainful Stroke to help out against the big ramp decks. This third Spell Pierce is in the sideboard to help out against the slower decks. You're going to see it sided out a lot, and but when it's good, it's going to be really good, I think. Anyway, that's Izzet Tempo. Let's go ahead and get to the match. Our first match here, we're going to keep. We can't play the Strangle on 1, so we'll probably just go Mountain Pass. And then 2, we'll probably play Ledger Shredder, and if we naturally draw the land, we'll go TPI Strangle, or we'll go another Ledger Shredder. There's a chance that the Strangle doesn't do anything. I hope that that's not true. All right, let's go Ledgerman. I don't think Mason will play 2 spells, but if he does, we get to trigger this. Bloodchief Thirst is one that I think is fairly balanced in the format because it's a sorcery. All right, let's go for another one of these. Using our blue mana when we can. Next turn, we can go TPI plus Strangle if they play a creature. That'll trigger Ledger Shredder and push us towards Teferi. If it is Graveyard Trespasser, we can easily just Strangle it and be fine with it. Ooh, so we got a little Demille. Suspicious Stowaway is interesting. All right, so let's go Stormcarved. We'll go TPI. We'll place Removal Spell on the Stowaway. We'll get some triggers. We'll just discard a Strangle, and we'll go for Teferi next turn. And that'll be the test. TPI with Teferi I think is great because it generates blockers. And we can just use Teferi to make tokens and then start drawing cards. Thieves Guild Enforcer. We're playing against a little bit of flashies. So how many cards do I need in my graveyard? Opponent has 8 or more. I currently have 5. Definitely down to trade TPI for the Thieves Guild Enforcer, but I assume that whatever I play is going to get countered, but maybe not. Buying Loris. All right. Loris buy is fine. I will play the Teferi, and I will make a creature. I'm going to hold back most things to protect the Teferi. Loris can be cast and bring back Suspicious Stowaway, but I think the Teferi is just going to bury our opponent. Teferi's going to bury our opponent. That's pretty cool. All right, March is fine. We have the Jawari to counter something next turn, but I think I'm just going to Fable it up. Let's just swing along in there. We have the Jawari to protect. This is going to trade easy. And then this, discarding a thing or two, is going to help turn on the Teferi Spirit token. That's fine. Now they can play Thieves Guild or Suspicious Stowaway. If they play Stowaway, we can counter. All right, so we'll draw. That's going to pump our spirit token. Discard disruption. I don't know what counter spells they could have, but I'll wait till my upkeep to cast my spell so I don't get hit with a cheap counter. Also get the chance to trigger Ledger Shredder again. I just want to activate my den. That's fine. Swang on in. Is going to trade here. They'll take 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's a Jeech. All right, we got some Abrades coming in. That's just instant speed interaction. Some mystical disputes. I don't think Brotherhood Zen's very good. Spell Pierce might be okay. We'll consider cutting them or bringing in the third one. I'm just not really sure. Fading Hope seems bad because all their stuff has flash. I thought Teferi would be bad, but maybe if they don't counter it, I think it just dominates. Not a whole lot. Like only one of their cards has flying. So let's maybe try the Borrower as well. Maybe, but maybe we cut the Borrower. It's flying though, so that's pretty cool. It's like balance. I don't know. Maybe it's good enough. Maybe we can trim a Jawari on the draw. Seems fine. Those Teferi tokens are nuts. Yeah, they're very good. Congrats on the gifted sub, Ape. You rogues? Why you? Rogues are cool. Definitely keep. We'll play the Otawara so we don't deal ourselves a ton of damage. On turn 2, I'll probably just play TPI since I have Iteration. They will probably have a way to kill it, but I think that's okay. Definitely don't need another Teferi right now. The land is okay. It'll help me curve nicely. Next turn, we'll just Expressive Iteration. Well, Howl, it's fine. You can always post them up in the Discord channel. I'm not like looking for them specifically, but you know, a couple more certainly won't hurt. All right, so we'll go. I guess. So this has to be last. So do we want the Abrade or the TPI? I think the answer is the TPI. The Abrade is like pretty good though. Milieu. By the Lurus. All right, so let's go TPI. That was a really good pickup with the Strangle. Now we can trigger, kill this, and then play opt-in or sponsor removal spell. Or we just, if they tap out for Lurus one robber, we just play Teferi, right? Sounds good, Howell. Thanks, buddy. Chapadez, thanks for the follow. What does new school mean? If you have any more questions, let me know, Ball Channel. Appreciate the curiosity. All right, now we're looking for a removal spell for the Lurus. All right, we didn't find it, so I guess we'll just play Teferi and make a token. Maybe we draw a card. I think I'm just going to draw a card. I want to find an answer to the Wind Robber. I'm really just hopeful that they don't have an answer to this with Bloodchief's Thirst, but I feel like they would have thirsted this a long time ago. Now, if they find a way to put a card in my graveyard, oh, I guess they can just go attack, draw a card, then recast it. But that's still not really handling this. Are these soldiers? Okay, so now Luris hits this, but this is not dead. All right, let's draw a card. Iteration. We'll go consider the hand, play the coast, kill the Loris. I think Teferi's just going to bury them in card advantage again. Last game it was the token. This game is just the draw card ability. We have the Den of the Bugbear to threaten. The Wind Robber we're just going to ignore. It's not even going to hit me, so it's not going to mill. They could have, you know, Drown in the Lock or whatever, but it just doesn't really matter, to be honest. Are they drowning? There's no way they drown this, right? All right, that's fine. This gets Mystical Disputed, that's fine too. All right, this is gonna be very sick. All right, so let's go Fable. Kill this. Make a creature. In case our Teferi dies. Next turn we can just loot 2 lands away. They have a lot of cards that they just drew, so I think that there's a very good chance Teferi dies. And drawing a card I think is worse than making a spirit. Come on, Nat. We're having a good game. Here comes Crippling Fear again. Dang. Card's pretty good. All right, well, we still get to add a bunch more counters to the Teferi. Fable's going to allow us to turn these 2 Shivan Reefs into something useful. Sogunzan only works with legendary creatures, not legendary permanents, which is awkward. All right, so this is going to give us 2 more loyalty. All right, let's go make a little guy. All right, so we'll go consider the hand Fable. Play Fable. We have Dispute Jawari. Teferi has looked extremely strong. This is what I thought he was going to do in Standard. Standard's not really about that, though. Play more about those, like, 2 and 3 mana creatures that are very strong. All right, we are going to counter this. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, Jäger. Another Crippling Fear. All right, Bloodchief's Thirst. We thought that this was going to happen. That's fine. I'm going to keep holding a Mystical Dispute. I don't want to tap out here. This is going to get really big next turn, and they did not kill it, so I think we're in business. All right, let's go in response to this. All right, so this is fine. And then with the Fable trigger on the stack, we're going to go consider. In case we draw a land, we want to discard the land. I'll keep it on top. Dispute's pretty good. Let's see. Yes, we'll discard Soken's on only. They had Hall the Storm Giant. Important to note. Let's go Iconoclast. Scatter. We're gonna counter this for a blue. Let's go iteration. Look for something to do next turn. We'll go Ledger to hand. Opt on top. Play the opt. All right, this no longer dies to their sweeper of Crippling Fear. That's good. Jump block. Maybe we're gonna get Wrath somehow. This is odd. These are even. So if it's Extinction Event, we're fine. If it's another Crippling Fear, we lose everything except this. But then we get to flip another Fable next turn, and we have Ledger Shredder. Powered kill on that. Yep. Powered kill on this. Okay. That was a great draw. Ledgerman, Teferi. Let's draw a card. We're so far ahead on resources. I think it's easy. Easy decision. No more sweeper, but even if they have a sweeper, we have the Teferi active, we have Den of the Bugbear, we have another TPI. What the heck is this? March for 1,000,000? We'll just Mystical Dispute it to easily win the game. I wish it was Jawari, though. Jawari would have been funnier. Oh, did you? All right, who's next? Who wants some? All right, we're here for the second match with our extremely sweet Izzet Tempo deck. We're playing against our good friend Monkey Brain. Looks like we are playing against a little bit of Rakdos Sack. I'm not going to worry too much about this little guy. We are going to probably go ahead and play Jawari on 1. Den on 2 with like a Shredder. And then on 3 we can go TPI plus Strangle on something. They are a Loris deck. Keep that in mind. They're probably going to be playing things like Oni Cult Anvil would be my guess. Agadeem's Awakening. Nice, nice. Love it. Shivan Devastator. Okay. Not that scary, but very cool with Luris. Awesome. Very cool with Luris. All right, let's go ahead and get the Ledgerman down to play a little bit defense against our boys. Next turn, though, we get to go TPI plus Strangle and clean up the board a bit. This is an easy block. Easy block. Yeah, don't mind the play with fire. Very, very good for me. Great trades. Great trades. All right, let's go Fable since they didn't play anything we want to Strangle. And then we can, if we get to attack next turn, we get to play Teferi and just start dominating. Think you can only cast it for 1? Ah, I see, I see. Harvester, okay. They will probably trade with my token. We're gonna definitely offer the trade and see what happens. My hand's just great. I'm just gonna not discard anything. That's always like the scariest thing in the world, right? When your opponent just like doesn't discard. It's pretty hard for them to kill this here, so we're just going to minus and make a 2/2. It's very hard for them to kill Teferi outside of just playing Play with Fire. They could go like a 2/2 Shivan Devastator, I guess. But maybe that means because they could 2/2 Shivan Devastator, I should have drawn a card. Okay, so I made a mistake here. But I think we're just going to bury them with this token anyway, as long as they don't kill it. All right, so let's go Iconoclast plus Fable. The 2/2 flyer is not that scary. We will start jamming. We have a lot of things that they need to kill. What's up, Interrupter Jones? How's it going, buddy? Play with fire on the TPI. That's fine. We still have reflection. We had a big guy. All this is okay. You know? We don't have any more payouts, but we will be able to generate a bunch of extra mana here with our Goblin Shaman. I'm going to main phase a Consider in case I... Okay, that's fine. All right. No. Just kill the Devastator. Oh, we should have maybe made a copy first. I think I might want the mana over an extra token, though. It's a pretty easy trade with the token, I think. They're so far behind. Oh, maybe they have a sweeper that I'm not thinking of. Oh, I guess they could have Black Source for the -X Mihawk Massacre. Mihawk Massacre is pretty scary. I guess that makes sense why they would kill the big guy. Ooh. Scourge of the Skyclaves. That's very scary. Look for Fading Hope. Might not need it. We'll go... let's go... Hand this... We'll just draw a card. All right, well, now we have protection from the Mihawk. So we'll just say go, and then we'll just go for a swarm kill next turn. Lithoform Blight. This cannot be... Oh, it draws a card, too. Okay. So this is basically Spreading Seas. Yeah, okay. Spreading Seas with Lura sounds great. Spell Pierce was a great pickup. It just gives me insulation from things that are very scary. And it's very unlikely they'll be able to kill me with this, unless they have a sweeper. Todd, did you ever create a Mono Green Devotion deck video through a league? You mean for this format? There's no Nykthos in this format. And my YouTube videos actually contain plenty of Pioneer content that includes what you're talking about. All right, let's go end of turn, make a TPI. All right, that's fine. We'll draw a card. We'll go red. Fading Hope the little guy. That on top. We'll hold up Spell Pierce. Okay, cool. Sideboard is Rakdos stuff, but like some weird stuff. Maybe they have artifacts, maybe not. We'll bring in Brotherhood's End as a potential way to interact with stuff. Redcap Melee can kill that Shivan Devastator pretty easily. I feel like they're very creature dense. I'm going to cut the Spell Pierces. Fading Hope seems fine. Maybe it's just like this. We don't need a ton in the matchup. I feel like we're advantaged. We just need to make sure we have answers to large things. So our bounce spells are pretty good. All right, our hand's pretty decent. We'll keep. Our Jawari doesn't have to be a land this game. It can just be counterspell. No one drop. Perfect. Don't really want to play an opt on one. Certainly could. Would rather hold it for turn 3 where I go Ledger Strider plus opt. Harvester's fine. We don't have a shock, but maybe we should be playing some Play with Fire as well as our Strangles. We'll say go. Games have been very fun today, Viper. We played Rakdos a bunch. Rakdos was lit. Rakdos was very fun. This deck so far has been great, but this is only our second match. The games have been awesome, but we're basically just showing that the deck works. And it does. It's felt great. Now we go Ledger Shredder plus Consider. Digging for some goodness for next turn. Fables and Teferis abound. We'll opt. We don't really use our graveyard much, so there's not a lot of difference between these two. They're essentially the same card if we're not playing the big guy. Although maybe we should be playing the big guy, you know, the Tolarian Terror, the Colossus of Clout. Voltage Surge is one that someone who I was talking to, Raja, was playing it in Pioneer, and it works well with Iconoclast. Maybe Voltage Surge is good. I think you could play Strangle and some number of Voltage Surge. That's probably better than Play with Fire. All right, what's happening? 4 mana? All right, Shivan Devastator will block. No, we won't. We'll take it. Maybe we will. I will play TPI. We'll play Consider, looking for a Strangle. I would rather just discard a Shivan Reef. Now that the Devastator is going to get taxed a bit, I'm just going to say go. We have the other Ledger Shredder. So now we can block. They also might have a land for Den. Kill this. All right, we'll play Consider here. Trigger. Next turn we can go Ledger Fable. Just want big spells here since we're losing our TPI, so we're going to bin the other Consider. I am fine to block now. I think this is an easy block because it's essentially trading for the Blood Tithe, and then our future stuff is okay to survive. Braid's fine. We'll get a Ledger. All right, we'll just discard Shivan Reef. That was a good draw. Maybe should have kept the Shivan Reef, huh? Tough turn. I think I'm going to gamble a little. I'm going to gamble a little. All right, so let's go Fable in hand. Deal 3 to everything. Hopefully I don't have Malakir Rebirth or whatever. I think any Lurrus deck that's playing black should probably just have 4 Malakir Rebirth. I think Malakir Rebirth on your Lurrus is fucking crazy. Kamano? Okay, so they're very creature dense, threat dense. This is cool build. Very cool build. So next turn they're going to be able to go Lurrus Plus. So they're shocking so they can Blood Token probably. Okay, so what do? We go TPI. We want to like max pressure. So we go TPI plus Fable. Ledger Shredder is fine, but I don't really want to loot anything away. necessarily, and we just want to max pressure the board. So they can get back Blood Tithe Harvester. We can upkeep Fading Hope, something if we want. Love a New Refart. This one, yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I think you just want to protect Luris or whatever. It's fine. All right, so they're gonna bring back Harvester. I'm not gonna bounce Harvester because they just get another blood token. Now let's just draw. Let's see if we hit a natural. All right, we're definitely discarding this land. I think it's just the land. All right, so let's go Fable. And offer the trade. They're going to be able to get it back next turn, but we'll be able to kill the Luris, and we have so much traction that I think it's fine. We'll keep the Strangle, just for the Luris. What format is this? Well, this is New School. It's a format that I created and that the community is rallying behind. The goal is to replace Standard. If you want more information, you can join the Discord. It's also a custom ban list. And if you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to help. All right, one card left in hand, 1,000,000 blood tokens. Obviously willing to trade any of these. All right, so I'm also probably just going to shove with the goblins. All right, I'll just triple block this or whatever. Just trade 2 tokens for this. All right, we'll pitch just the mountain. All right, let's go Ledger. Let's attack first. Oh, I probably should have attacked with Den. No blocks. Okay. All right, let's strangle Dolores. Oh, loot. Discard lands. And then if they try to kill our reflection, we'll Fading Hope it. All right. Second Kamano, or second a blood token to discard Kamano. They're just digging for some removal. They can use this to kill the reflection, but I have the Fading Hope to bounce. We can use that next turn to maybe trigger the Ledger Shredder if we draw another spell. We have a ton of treasure tokens. We'll likely enter the Den of the Bugbear. 4 damage. Yeah, that's fine. I know that they're going to kill the Kiki Jiki, so I don't really care about protecting Ledger Shredder. Ledger Shredder is only great when you have a ton of loot effects. It's not really that good otherwise. Interesting. Okay, we'll just hold on to it. Big. This cannot activate at instant speed. So let's go make a copy. Swing. All right, this is 10 damage. Put them to 1. I guess I could have gone for the Fading Hope. I don't know. I think the Den is still going to be lethal no matter what. Yeah, exactly, Viper. I'm not either. It is interesting, though. Should have definitely held the land in case, like, we just have too many treasures or whatever. Just didn't need it. Scourge. Be big. All right, let's hope I don't get Fling. If they drew Fling, Scourge, Gazul's Fury, no shot, right? Okay. GG. Awesome. 2-0. All right, we're here for our third match with Izzet Tempo. This hand's pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and start on a Jawari Disruption. That way I can hit my land drops and maybe chain all the way up to Teferi. On turn 3, we have the option to go Ledger Shredder plus Fading Hope or Strangle, depending on the matchup. We will try to get Ledger Shredder down right now, though, on turn 2. Den's a great draw. I thought that there would be a little bit of awkwardness in the mana base with Jawari, Den of the Bugbear, and such, but so far it's been quite good. Fortell. No bueno. Alright, well, Blue-Eye Control is maybe the bane of my existence in general. I just don't have a whole lot of ways to actually interact with my opponent in the first game. Just a couple counter spells. Alright, let's go for a Consider. Graveyard that. Let's attack. If they have some sort of way to kill an attacking creature, we can Fading Hope and then recast. Shark Typhoon for 1. Alright, well, with this on the stack, I'm going to bounce this. Discard a Strangle. Keep a Fable. Yo, Perotu, thanks for the 9 months. Symbol of Enlightenment. Perotu, thanks for the 9 months. Welcome back to the Todd Squad. Appreciate you, buddy. Alright, let's attack for 2. Let's see if they have a piece of action here to kill it, and then we'll get the Teferi down. If they don't have any action to kill it, then that's great. We'll just ride it. Alright, March is perfect. Alright, let's go Teferi, and I'm going to make a 2/2 because I want to spread my pressure around a little. Now that we have the Teferi, if I just draw a card and then they untap and find some way to kill it, it's a bit awkward for me. Fateful Absence is the card that is awkward, but now we have the Spirit Token, which works well with this. We just got to worry about sweepers, but they do have Demolition Field as well. We'll save the TPI for later. We'll go ahead and play Shredder. Next turn, if they Wrath us, we'll play these two. All right, we'll attack with the Spirit. I'm going to draw a card so we do an extra damage. And now I'm assuming I'm going to get hit with a Wrath effect of some kind. Wow, nice draw. Next turn, we can use all of our mana. We're in another spot where we basically just are never gonna discard with Fable unless it's a land. Our hand is too strong. Now, if they don't Wrath us, if it's just Wandering Emperor, we get a treasure and the Spirit Token's good. If it's Depopulate, Doomscar was the card they put over there. That's fine. All right, so let's go. We'll discard the land for sure. Then we'll go Shredder. TPI. Is this going to get countered? I'll just say go. It's been very good so far, Viper. We don't have treasure cruise or anything, and it's been like a nice source of card advantage and pressure. Depopulate, we get to draw a card. All right, so let's go Ledger Shredder. Then we'll play Fable and hope we don't get hit with another Wrath. We'll just discard a land if we draw it. Counterspell's fine. Jesus. All right, discard another Fable. That's got to be terrifying as the opponent, right? Your opponent discards and it's frickin' Fable the Mirror Breaker. I'm just not going to attack into Wandering Emperor. Will EOT make a copy of the Spirit, untap, and do like some serious damage? Thanks again to Pro2 for the 9 months. Chad, if you have a Prime sub lying around and you want to throw it my way, I'd be very appreciative. If, oh, a concession. We know who the dominant Planeswalker is now, chat. It's Teferi. Get in my deck. Want the bar? We can cut most of these strangles. I'll keep the Fading Hopes because they can bounce my own thing. Or they bounce Shark Token. I think Jawari is decent, but maybe we just trim like... I think the borrowers are good. Maybe we just trim 2 Disruption on the draw. But I feel like that's a little awkward. We'll trim 1 Fading Hope and 1 Disruption. Shark Typhoon is very good, though, and it could be very annoying, but we do have 2 Brazen Borrowers for it. And I think Borrower is better than Fading Hope, but not by a ton. In fact, maybe we just leave the 2 Borrowers and we have Jawari's just hit our land drops. Jawari was great that game. This came down early and was a land. Jawari's been great so far. Like, we're doing exactly the thing that I kind of wanted to do, which is have a spell to play on turn 2 that's interactive, and also just have a higher, you know, like landish counts. And I think Jawari does that perfectly. Here we'll keep it, right? We'll just use it to prevent like a turn 3 something or another. All right, we'll consider on the bottom. I want it, I just don't want it right now. I want it in general, but I want it like way later in the game. I will just play Chivalry and say go. I wonder if there's like some 3-mana permanent they could play here that would be really bad for me, that I would want my Disruption for. We'll just play this as land tapped. Sharky Shark. 1 mana Sharky, or 1 mana 1/1 Sharky is fine, right? Next turn we can play Iconoclast with Disruption backup for the inevitable Wandering Emperor. We'll just Jawari Disruption this. Let's hope they try to play around stuff again. Next turn we can start with like iteration, maybe play Fable too. Just like no attacks or whatever. If we draw Spell Pierce, that would be pretty sweet. Main phase tap out for what? Lockdown? Okay. Lockdown makes sense. Lockdown's pretty good for us though, because it takes our shark token as well. Alright, so let's go Fable. We'll just hold up stuff. I want to try to hold on to iterations for as long as possible. If our token gets marched, that's fine. Next turn we can turn our lands into spells. We can play iteration. Six mana, what you got? All I got, if it's a blue card, I can stop it. If it's a white card, you got me good. March on the actual Fable. Okay, that's fine. So we have more land drops for the iteration. We have a way to protect the iteration this turn. That's a great pickup. Great pickup. All right, so we'll go Ledger Shredder to hand, Ledger Shredder to over here. Play Ledger. We'll attack, and now we can play Disdainful Stroke or Mystical Disputes, or both, if there's a Counterspell War. I'm assuming I'm going to get Doomscarred or something at some point, but maybe if they had Doomscarred, they would have went ahead and foretold it earlier, so it's cheaper on the front cast. They could also have Depopulate, but we don't draw a card. I will probably counter it just because it'll eliminate my foothold on the battlefield. And we can protect. And it'll give us a ledger thing. All right. All right, now we can protect our Teferi as well. Attack first. Here I'm going to draw a card because we have enough pressure in play already. All right, and now we can end of turn channel Sokens on if they have a Wrath. Temporary Lockdown's not so bad because we have the Teferi going. All the Storm Giants coming in would be a little scary, but we have the channel to stop it. Forgot about this haymaker of a card. Holy shit. Nice. Let's go. All right. So far, the deck has felt awesome. Extremely, extremely good. Very happy with Teferi. Very happy with Fable, Third Path, Ledger Shredder. Iteration, all the removals good. Spell Pierce been good. Juari's been good. GG's. If you're interested in New School, make sure to check out our Discord. It's running strong. We have well over 400 members. We started on Tuesday. So people are extremely, extremely interested in this type of stuff. And I am too. It's been very, very fun. All right, well, Juari first. Next turn we'll go Shredder. Turn after we'll go Consider Strangle or whatever, right? Digging for lands. Snow-covered plains. All right, let's play Ledgerman. If they kill our Ledger Shredder and attack for one with like lay down arms or something. Ooh, Thalia. No bueno. All right, well, we'll kill that. That's fine. It's not that bad. All right, so Strangle here. Consider looking for lands. Bend the Fading Hope. Down to play defense. If we get with if we get hit with what you calls it, that's fine, right? Like a Brutal Cathar, we can maybe get it back. Yeah. It's a pretty sick curve. Not a lot we can do about it. We'll play Fable. Hopefully we draw interaction. Okay. Next turn we can play Teferi. Not sure if I want to make a token or not. Dang, it's rough. Bottom. All right, we'll discard these two next turn. I need to play to the board a bit. I need to find stuff to play to the board. I don't think I can just play Teferi and make a 2/2. I think it'll die too easily. All right, well, we found another one. So now we'll make a 2/2, and they kind of have to attack with most things to kill the Teferi. We have a backup Teferi and a Consider next turn, maybe, if we draw the land. We can trade with that Brutal. If they attack with everything to kill Teferi, we can just pick and choose what we want to kill. They have Faceless Haven, which is also pretty scary. Faceless Haven trigger also pumps Hopefulness shit. Nothing else does, though. All right, so this is going to face, and then these two are going here. So this is an easy block here. Fairy is going to die, but we get to kill the recruitment officer. If they pass the turn, wedding announcement. Jeez Louise. This is rough stuff. But this is fine, right? Like we knew that this type of thing was going to happen. All right, so let's go Strangle here. Consider here. Third pass on top's fine. And now if we stabilize, we get the Teferi down, we might actually be in business. Teferi making a token here is great. If we draw the land, it's not that bad because we can make a copy of TPI and get an extra token. You can also just draw a card with Teferi, but I think making a 2/2 is slightly better. Adeline. All right, that's very bad for us. Let's see what they attack with, though. Whatever they attack with, we get to kind of chew up. They might not attack with anything. We could eat the token for free and maybe, like, if they attack with this, right? This is an easy block, easy token block, so there's just, like, very little reason to attack. Also, they get a 1/1 if they wait. All right, let's go red. We'll go here. It's just like another permanent token, which I think is good to have. We have a lot of defense. We can do some chump blocking. We can do a lot of trading. If they send everything into Teferi, I can pick and choose how I block. If they wait and we get to untap with Teferi, that's also very good. I don't mind just chumping the Adeline with a soldier token. And then if the spirit token gets untapped, we get to do some really cool stuff. They can kill Teferi if they animate Faceless Haven and shove everything at Teferi. But I think that's fine. That'll make their backside of wedding announcement much worse. Brutal Cathar on either side is a little scary. Dolly here is a little awkward. Don't have any graveyard related stuff, so the activated ability on Sun Gold is not that big a deal. Probably no attacks would be my guess. They're going to transform this, and then we gotta, I don't know, we gotta keep it moving. It's probably a bad attack, but I feel like they were just going to take it, so let's just say go. There's like so many ways that things can go wrong if they do that. I feel like them attacking with everything this turn makes a lot of sense, though. But they do lose most of their stuff. But we lose most of our stuff, too. It really collapses the board. I wish I had drawn an opt or something in that turn cycle. That would have been super sick. All right, here comes the knuckle chucks. The chuckle fucks. All right, I don't want to block with the reflection. So they can remove 2 counters to kill the reflection. First off, is everything going face? Yep. We'll just copy an iconoclast just to have a 2-power creature that can block and trade with a token. Okay. All right, so this blocks Thalia. That'll be tough for me next turn. This is a pretty easy block here. This is a pretty easy block here. Easy block here. And then I think this is just too much damage. Like, I have to block with at least 1 TPI. How much is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have to block with 1 more. We clean up a token, we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's go to 1. All right, I think I can technically ultimate Teferi if I get like a really lucky string. All right, didn't miscount. That's good news. All right, Fading Hope is not it. So let's draw a card. All right, GG. I guess before we drew a card, we could have gone reflection copy this, Fading Hope target this. So we can wait till incept, we can make a copy of this, and then we can Fading Hope this, and that's still not enough. But they don't know that, right? Can someone change the MTG bot command to just delete the command? All right, so this is entering as the backside. That's fine. We will go Fading Hope, targeting the Adeline before attacks. Pearson fading. Oh, good call. Good call. An old pay, obviously. And we get a loot. Good call. Didn't even see it. All right, so we get the scry as well. Top, easy. I think we're going to get the ultimate the Teferi chat. I think with the Ledger Shredders and the Expressives and stuff. Maybe. Now, they are going to flip 2 Moonrage Brutes. So we'll have to figure out how to get around that a little bit. All right, a lot of chump blocks incoming, though. Okay, so this is an easy block. This is an easy block. This is an easy block. We go block here, block here. Take a little bit. Take nothing. Maybe TPI. Yeah, I got to keep the TPI around, I think. Yeah, so these will flip. Oh, we have to discard? That's okay. All right, let's see what they target with the Moonrage Brutes, because this is going to go first. So one's going to target the TPI, and one targets the Fable. So I think I make a TPI in response, so I can make some tokens to block. And then I got to draw a way to kill stuff. All right, let's go iteration. Opt or something would be great. Fable's not enough. I don't think Fable's enough. Oh, I guess we can draw a opt off of the Shredder. So let's go Fable to hand, Fable over here. We'll go Fable. Any card draw spell lets us ultimate to fairy. Damn. So close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a blocker to not be dead. Adeline's not lethal either. What a battle. Stone Gold Sentinel doesn't work against soldiers. We have 6 blockers for 5 attackers, but the 6th attacker is the Adeline token. Luminarch Aspirant's fine. Yeah, Brutal's fine. This might be a no attack scenario. All right, now we get to ultimates. We'll discard both. This is the first time I've seen this ultimate. Very excited. Target opponent chooses a permanent they control and returns it to its owner's hand, then they shuffle each. All right. Which one you want? Yeah, maybe lay down arms is worth. It would be very good against this deck for sure. What a sick game this one's been, huh? Just hope I don't randomly accidentally die to the Faceless Haven because I'm not paying enough attention. All right, easy. I'll bring in the Braids and the Brotherhood's End and the Brazen Borrower. I'll cut the Spell Pierces, even though they're okay. They're just not quite what we need. And then we can maybe trim like Jawari Disruption and just, you know, use the longevity of the game with interaction. You can also just cut Fading Hope. Just use Jawari as 1 mana removal. Or sorry, just extra lands. Fading Hope's not that bad though. Just not that good. Maybe I'll cut Borrowers also. We don't have a great way to kill Adeline. Bouncing it is like not really that good either. So maybe we just need to play like Obliterating Bolt or something in the sideboard because Adeline's so strong. We don't have access to Running Volley. I don't think playing Red Cat Melee is worth. So is there anything in my deck that I don't want? The flyer doesn't matter on Borrow, so I think I'll just cut it. All right, we'll do 2 Jawari, 2 Fading Hope. Casting Jawari is not really something I'm interested in. Well played. Thanks, Mini Pet. All right, so this hand, I think I gotta keep it. It's like one of those hands where if we don't draw the land, we're in trouble. But the pathway makes it a little awkward. Oh, no 1-drop. Okay, so now we can just play Consider. Just look for red mana that way. Oh, we found it. I'm gonna just play Stormcard Coast tapped. There's a good chance that they play Thalion too when they keep this hand, and I really need to be able to strangle it so that they don't get Adeline on the 3rd turn attacking. So let's go Strangle for 2. All right, so the Adeline is very scary. Here you go. Without answers to this, I think we're in trouble. So especially if we're not on the play with a ledger shredder or something. All right, we don't have the bounce spell for it, but I will dig for it. All right, if we hit 5 mana, we can sweep everything. We have to iteration looking for land though. All right, we found them both, so we'll go land to hand. This, play this. Smart. Opponent's playing around sweeper. Very good for them. All right, let's go red, red, 1. Read everything. Pretend like I don't have anything in case they have a flash creature. There's that one flash creature, right? All right, next turn we can go TPI Fable. Depending on what they do. They're going to get a token off of this. Sun Gold's okay. It's going to be a 4/3. But TPI plus Fable's good. We're still at 10. Like, they have a lot of cards in hand, though. But it's probably all, like, Brutal Cathars and stuff. So it's, like, kind of scary. Double Fable, I think, is worse than TPI Fable. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're still in the same squeeze as before, right? There's no answer to Shield Red that's good. So they do have Lay Down Arms. It's just not in their main deck. All right, so Sun Gold Sentinel can give itself protection, so we'll just trade Shaman for this. And then we're pretty screwed against the Adeline. They have 1 card in hand only, though. But it's a lot of damage coming across. I don't have anything that matters for Graveyard, bro. So double blocking here is bad, but I think chump blocking is okay. It's just so much damage. I don't really know what we can draw. It has to just be a combination of things off of the Fable. So we'll pitch Fable, and I mean Strangle's probably part of the thing. All right, so let's go to Fairy gone and Fable gone. All right, so let's go Shredder to hand, Shredder Exile. We're gonna have to still deal with the Sun Gold Sentinel, but we found the combination. Oh, they didn't protect. They didn't protect chat. Big mistake. Big mistake. The classic F6 strategy. So next turn we go Shredder to Fairy. We have the Flip Fable to block. We can do some serious blockage. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we are short of being able to Shredder as well as to Fairy unless we draw lands. Okay, so we'll just go Shredder Fable. But they're out of juice. The Brotherhood's in plus Strangle combo. Really whipping that ass. Alright, and we'll get Teferi down next turn. We only have 2 creature tough powers, so we can do a double block. Still only have 2, but now they can activate and find something. Brutal Cathar, they can't cast till next turn. If they attack, we'll double block. If they don't attack, we're in business. The Brutal Cathar is a little annoying. I'm not sure what that means with the Teferi. Oh, just hexproof and unblockable? Ah. Well, they should do that before attacks then. So I have to chump block. Oh, I should have blocked with this instead of the Fable. I'm stupid. I guess they're killing the Shredder anyway. It doesn't really matter too much. All right, so I guess we just make a 2/2. They're gonna Brutal Cathar. Maybe I draw a card, look for Strangle for the Recruitment Officer kill. I will say go. No matter what they target, we can make a Reflection token to block. So either we have 2 blockers with the Goblin Shaman, or we have a Goblin Shaman that can trade. See what they find. Maybe they'll miss. Does anyone ever miss with Recruitment Officer? Got another Recruitment Officers, but they're going to Brutal Cathar. Their last card might be a land, though, so they get to do both. Yep. All right, see what they target. They'll probably target the Shaman, because if they target Reflection and I kill the Brutal Cathar, they're just up shit creek. Okay. If they attack with Thalia, we'll double block. If they attack with either, we'll trade with Recruitment Officer, maybe. Just let Thalia hit for 3. Thalia is not that big of a problem. The Recruitment Officer is terrifying, and I want to get rid of both of them. All right, we'll just trade here, easy. Teferi takes 3. We have so much mana that the Thalia is not even a problem anymore. And if they play the Recruitment Officer here, they will. I'll just emphasize killing that with removal or Odawara or whatever. All right, chapter 3. The fairy draws a card. It's nothing. Let's see. We can minus make a blocker, but I want to kill this Recruitment Officer, so we'll draw a card. Okay. I'm going to say go. Should have held the land because we can channel Odawara on the Brutal Cathar. Yeah, we have the Den to block as well. That's true. This is a 5/4, so it's very scary. Yep, activate the Recruitment Officer. Makes sense. Another Brutal Cathar. Okay. Now where are they going to target? Maybe the Goblin Shaman, but maybe the backside of the Reflection. Okay. So now if they attack with everything, we get to completely crush their dreams. And if they don't attack with anything, we'll just bounce the Brutal. We'll just keep riding the Teferi, right? I guess we'll bounce this. And then we'll double block. That way we don't lose our Ledger Shredder, but we still take care of it. And now no matter what we draw, we'll probably discard it. That way we turn our Teferi up a little bit. Nice. Shredder gets another counter. Or Shredder gives Teferi another counter. Okay. And Fable trigger. Pitch a land. Looking for removal. Fading Hope's nice. Let's go draw a card. Back with the den. They want to trade. I'm super happy about it. You lose the token, but that's okay. They'll probably just take 3. I'm gonna go ahead and just fading hope. No, we don't have to, right? We'll just chill. So now the backside of their thing doesn't do anything? Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe attacking was bad. I really just want to draw a bunch of ops and considers and shit. I just want to get this up to snuff. We're going to try to ultimate Teferi again, I think. I don't mind paying the ward. But the Brutal Cathar in hand doesn't actually come down and do anything, which is nice. It's just a 4/4. I will pay the 3 life. We'll get our Fable back. We'll bottom the land. If they play 2 spells, they're going to be in some serious trouble. They're all going face. So this seems like a double block here. Take 8. No, we can't. All right, so maybe it's chump here, trade here. Brutal Cathar this token. That's okay. See, they're going to Brutal Cathar whatever's left over, right? Maybe it's just this. It's just that. Star does nothing. It's nighttime. Good call. Good call. But if they play a 1-drop spell that'll flip and then take care of this, that's okay too. We're discarding whatever we draw by like pretty quick, I think. All right, so this goes up to 9. Fable puts up to 11. We just need anything to turn it on. I'm going to discard the TPI. Damn. All right, let's draw a card. All right, we'll hold up Fading Hope to protect / bounce something, and we'll use Den of the Bugbear to block. Oh, shit! Yeah, you're right. I could have done this connived, triggered, and then ultimated. Good call. Little things like that you can miss sometimes for sure. Bouncing my own stuff is something I've just been missing a lot lately. So that's definitely a good call. Maybe 2 aggro? No, we get to wrath our opponent. But wrathing and leaving a Teferi in play should be game over. Yeah, we should have bounced our Kiki and then ultimated though. All right, so here comes the Knuckleheads. We're going to definitely block with like everything so we can keep our Teferi alive and ourself alive. This can activate to kill this. But we have Den. All right, so we have to let that die. We animate Den. We go Fading Hope. That's the Hopeful Initiate. All right, so is this going to transform? Guess it will. I don't think they played a spell yet. All right, so this goes to 13. Fable flips. We'll go Ultimates. They lose their wedding festivity, but they'll get it back next turn. We go Shredder, attack with Den, and the next turn we'll just start churning this. Been a really sweet match, though, for sure. This will give me another blocker for later. Good chance they play 2 spells. I want to go ahead and play the Shredder so that if they play 2 spells, we get to loot a land. I know, Mini Pettis looked really good in like every matchup we played it, to be honest. Okay, so they're going to play 2 things. They're going to transform the Moonrage Brute and target something. Ooh, all right. Well, they're going to target 2 things. And we have to hope that we draw a answer. They're going to probably target Reflection. Okay, so Brotherhood's End would be excellent. We have played 2 this game. Let's see what they target. So one's on the Reflection, one's on the Ledger Shredder. So we'll just target Ledger Shredder so that we might be able to get a couple of loots this turn. All right, that's step 1. Let's so we can kill the Brutal Cathar with the Fable or the one with the Ledger Shredder on it. The Ledger Shredder lets us dig deeper. Maybe we should just minus to make a creature, though. All right, so this is going to die EOT, so we'll attack, and we'll just have 4 blockers for 3 attackers, so we're not even dead to another Brutal Cathar or an Adeline. So go. We'll let the Fable next turn potentially churn our hand up a little. I wonder if I'm going to get decked, chat. I think I'm going to get decked. First time for everything. Traction Specialist. Okay, it's very scary. Okay, Recruitment Officer allows them to start getting their thing popped up. I wonder if I should have drawn a card. I feel like I could easily lose if I try to draw a card, though. All right, so we'll draw for turn. All right, always yield, always yield. All right, with the Fable trigger on the stack, I'm going to play an Opt. We're going to try to get the Teferi back up to ultimate. Top's fine. Yes, we'll just discard Jawari only. I will sweep the creatures. They can activate Recruitment Officer in response. That's fine. We can animate the Den minus the Teferi and really get to work. Oh, it hits the Teferi. Wow, I almost messed it up again, chat. I gotta remember that Brotherhood's End hits my stuff. I just keep forgetting over and over again. All right, so we're gonna hit him for a lot. That last Brotherhood's End was clutch. This is gonna put him to 1. They're gonna be dead to Ledger Strider next turn. I don't think there's anything they can do to give something haste, so I think we should be in the clear. Very sick game. Very sick match. Very good. I think this is only game 2 also. It's just crazy. Maybe the best game of the day. Had to be. Had to be the best game of the day. Fighting tooth and nail to beat Adeline. Yes. GG's. Well played. Okay. Let's do an outro for this Izzet Tempo deck. So, first and foremost, Third Path Iconoclast, I think, is just going to be excellent alongside Ledger Shredder at all times. Having multiple 2-mana creatures that you can kind of pivot around makes your removal better, your card draw better. I really like chaining up to Fable with Third Path to make a token, as well as Teferi Temporal Pilgrim at the top end. Everything seemed like it worked really well together. Strangle was a good answer to specific creatures. Fading Ope and Brazen Borrower gave me some outs in spots that I didn't think I really had outs to. And Spell Pierce was pretty good in some spots where I needed to counter something. The Jawari Disruptions acting as a land or a spell were excellent. Absolutely terrific. The mana base felt pretty good. I didn't feel like I was color screwed too often. I didn't feel like I was missing land drops too often. Really, though, I think the story is that Teferi Temporal Pilgrim overperforming is going to be somewhat commonplace. I think that card's extremely good. When they spoiled it, I thought it would be good in Standard. Now that we have a different place for it and a place where we get to play Expressive Iteration and a number of other cheap cantrips like Opt and stuff, I think it just ends up making Teferi just like an all-star. Our sideboard, the Red Cat Melees didn't come in, but I think they're good. A Braid was okay. Brotherhood's End was stellar. Disdainful Stroke was solid when we had it, and then Mystical Dispute was insane when we had it. Overall, I think this could be a contender for maybe best like tempo mid-range deck for new school, and I'm excited to play some more with it in the format. If you're watching this video, just want to say thanks for hanging out and checking out New School, this new format that we're working on as a community. If you're able to, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And make sure to join the Discord. A link should be in the video's description. But if you're watching this live, that's going to be all for today. And we hope to see you next time. Take it easy.